So every record collector has a way that they collect records and how expensive their records that they collect are. I am currently looking at my record collection, my phone is sitting on my record player, and I want to talk about the rarest records that I own. Rare doesn't just mean valuable. Rare doesn't always mean valuable. And I'm not going to include these records that I have right here that are recordings of... okay. This one, I don't even know. Can't even read cursive. I can't even read whoever wrote that cursive. And then I am holding 3 45s in my hand, and they were... I think this one was recorded by a family member of mine. These two were recorded by someone who went down to Nashville who was from the town that my dad was from. I'm not going to include those, because those don't count. Those are literally one of a kind, so they don't count. And these records too. Which are 2 7-inch 78s, actually 3 7-inch 78s, two of them which I have no clue what's about. I still need to put them on digital. I have not done that. I have no reason to, and I need to, and I'll admit that I should. One of them is actually a recording of my grandpa on a 78. It's like he was in the Navy. He was in the Navy, and he recorded an audio log for his mom and dad. It was like his mom and dad in rural Minnesota, aka my great-grandparents, while he was in the Navy. And it was so weird to listen to for the first time, because it's like, my grandpa's dead now, sadly. He has been for 5 years, but it's just really weird. Like, for the first time I heard it, it was on a record player that needed a new needle. My grandma's old record player. I got the needle replaced a few months ago. And then I played it on my dad's record player, and I need to play it on my record player so I can convert it to digital. And it was so weird to hear his voice when he was like 19, 20 years old. Let me know in the comments if you guys have ever had an experience like that. Anyway, my rarest and most expensive records in my collection. Let's start off with the absolute rarest that got more than one copy. It is so rare that I cannot find a single thing online besides when the band members died. That's it. I've talked about this one a lot. Now, for privacy reasons, if I were to reveal the names, you guys could figure out where I live. Because this is so local, and it's like, this guy was from the town, this guy right here was from the town I currently live in. So, yeah, I'm not going to reveal, especially because it's a small town of like 400 people. Actually, there are 3 famous people from this town. I'm not going to reveal their names either. One of them was like a huge star, I think in football or baseball. I think I know some of his like descendants or something. There are people around here who have the same last name as him, and usually if you have the same last name as someone around here, you're related. Not always. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway, so that's my first rarest record. It's so rare that every time I try and search something up, the only thing I can find is stuff that I myself put online. I used Google's search thing to find this online. First thing that came up was a post that me made on Reddit. and the rest were nothing to do with it. Anyway, so that's these count as rare records? I don't know. Like Johnny Home, most people, like, I assume that if you don't live in like the rural Midwest, you probably don't know who Johnny Home is. I'd be surprised if you watching this live in like Massachusetts and you know who Johnny Home is. I'd be surprised. Anyway, so these two are two of my Minnesota records that I have. And my next rarest record is this, a 16 RPM record. And I was going to play it this Christmas at my grandma's on her record player, and I completely forgot. Because her record player can play 16 RPM records. When I last checked, 16 RPM records have gone down a lot in price from when I got this. Like, I got this in April of this year, and they were on average like 60 to 100 bucks. I got this one for less than 30 off Etsy. And so yeah, I've barely used it because I just don't have a record player that can play 16 RPM records. They don't even produce record players that can play them anymore. They're that rare, and they were only produced for like 2 or 3 years in the 1950s. Anyway, so those are my main rare records out of the way. Let's look at the records I paid the most for. First up, Barons and Gruel Unthawed and Barons and Gruel Dive Bar Dinner. I don't know if you non-Midwesterners are familiar with Charlie Barons. But he released 2 albums. I expected them to kind of be like the Bob Newhart album, which I didn't get the Bob Newhart album until a lot later. If you want to see it, if you want proof that I have it, I gotta find it. There it is. Here's proof. Bob Newhart album. I expected it to be like this, where it's a comedy show pressed on vinyl. But no, it's like actual music. It was also one of the few new records that I have in my collection. Anyway, which that reminds me, can I use or have my box sets as a stand for a bunch of junk. Anyway, this is the first new record I ever got, Bo Burnham's Inside Deluxe album on vinyl. I got it off eBay for 50 bucks, but it was sealed, and it's still being produced, so I count it as new. I got another sealed record off eBay, but it wasn't new. Well, it's not, I don't think it's still being produced. I doubt it is. So, but I don't count that one. Anyway, what's next? Let's go Queen. Because I mainly secondhand shop and shop at like thrift stores and antique stores and sometimes record stores, I'm starting to want to go more to record stores more, because like thrift stores barely have much for records. Antique stores have a little bit more, but not as much, or not that much. And then record stores have pretty much, it's like anytime I go to a record store, I find something good. And we'll get to a few of them. I got this at Walmart for 35 bucks. Queen's Greatest Hits, #1. I first thought that it came out in 2011, because that's what it said, copyright 2011, but then I got more into Queen and I found it was just a remaster. Another Queen album, I got it for 17 bucks at Target. So, yeah. What's another one? Here's another rare record I have. It was in St. Cloud. A Chinese knockoff of an Andy Williams record. I posted on Reddit. I was like, do you guys know anything about this? And someone replied saying how it was most likely a bootleg Andy Williams album from Taiwan that was sold to a Chinese soldier that was overseas, possibly during the Vietnam War. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of that would make sense. And I'd probably say that this is another rare record I have. It's not really rare. I got it for $15 at my personal favorite record store. And it's not really rare, it's just the fact that I don't spend that much money on records. It's like, most of my records that I've gotten are, like, on average, like, just a couple of bucks. So $15 on a record is a little pricier than I'm used to. So then if we're including $15 records, include Michael Jackson's Thriller. I got it for $15 at an antique store. Saved $5. Could have gotten it at Walmart for $20. Anyway, that I think is all my rare records, except for these two. So the first one I got for Christmas. I haven't even put it in my record shelf yet. I need to. Don McLean's American Pie. And this is another new record that I got. I put it on my Christmas list, and I sent my Christmas list to my family. And so then I got it. And let me shove it in here into my record stand. I want to shove it in there safely. There we go. Now, this one I literally got today. My mom and I, it's like, my dad was sick, so I couldn't go see him. I was gonna go see him, but like, because he's sick, couldn't. And so then my mom had the idea, how about we just go to Fargo? So we went to Fargo today. I drove the entire way, and we decided to stop at an antique store, or a record store, and the very first one in their used records was this for $15. Do you know what it is? It is the Minecraft vinyl. Beta, not alpha. I want to get alpha. I'll probably like get it used on eBay for like $20 or something. But for now, I have beta, and this is awesome. It's like, I've actually put this on my Christmas list too that I sent to my family. And I put beta, or alpha on it too. And so it's just funny that I got this now, 2 days after Christmas. And I haven't even listened to it yet. It's also one of the few records that I have that have a like, weird design on it. After this video's over, I'm actually going to put it on my record player and listen. Although there's one issue. I cannot tell which side is which. And legitimately, I can't tell. There's no markings. I want to listen to disc... I want to listen to what disc 13 is. Or 11, I meant to say. 11 is right there. It's on side D. It's the third to last one, so I'll listen to that. And there are two other records that would belong here, but I currently do not have them because of like shipping issues. I mentioned that my dad was sick, and for Christmas he ordered the Interstellar soundtrack on vinyl for me. And it only arrived yesterday, but like I said, because he's sick, I can't go over and visit him, and so I can't get it. Shoot. And another record my dad got for... Okay, why isn't this record going into my collection? It's a different one. I'm trying to reorganize it. But my dad also got another record for me, which was the Queen Rock Montreal on vinyl. And that actually arrived in time for Christmas. So I opened up the box that it was shipped in, and it was a Spanish record. And the funny thing is, it even had printed on the box, Queen Rock Montreal 3 LP. And yet it was the wrong record. So my dad said he was gonna go get it, contact them about it. So yeah, those are 2 records that I should have in probably no more than a week. Actually, no, it might be longer. I don't know. I'll get them eventually. And the Interstellar soundtrack I'm really excited for, because that's my favorite movie of all time.